I would like to mention a project that I'm personally involved in. For the last 20 years, I have a strong personal commitment to the Caribbean and to its people. When I meet prime ministers and ministers, there is always a deep-seated resentment about slavery. This has led me to personally start a new initiative to create a campaign for reparations for the Caribbean. The working title of this campaign is the Repair Campaign. The CARICON 10-point plan for reparatory justice is a really good starting point. Apart from these appalling injustices, Caribbean nations were given their independence, but left with the vault empty with no financial, social, or investment resources. This is why many Caribbean nations are so indebted. Independence came with an empty cupboard. Former British slave owners in Jamaica were paid $19 billion between 1838 and 2015. All the wonderful buildings, infrastructure, and great universities you see in Great Britain today were built on the back of slavery. The same in Belgium, the same in France, the same in Holland, and mostly Germany as well. It's, in my mind, reprehensible. I have hired a number of people who worked on the really successful and groundbreaking campaign, the Millennium Debt Campaign from early 2000, which was transformative for the African countries. About 13 African countries got debt cancelled in return for their governments agreeing to invest that same capital and cash interest in education and health projects. It was a really, really successful campaign. The European Union, because most of the slave countries came from the European Union, and of course Great Britain, need to fess up to what has happened. It starts with an apology, which still, after hundreds of years, has not been forthcoming. They are going to be asked to create an investment funding arrangement for each of the countries in the Caribbean affected by slavery to grant aid and major projects in education, health, agriculture, fisheries, and economic development. And that funding should come in over 25 years. An economic study will shortly be underway to determine the allocation of these funds for each of the countries that have been affected. In furtherance of this objective, and this is not a solo run, I'm consulting with 3 prime ministers in the region, and I have their support for this, and we've also assembled the campaign team in London. History requires justice, and justice must be fair, equal, and lasting. I will conclude by recalling the universal legal adage, justice delayed is justice denied. Thank you very much.